Awesome. Okay, so we're recording. I'm really excited to have you guys here and to just go over a little bit of what coaching is all about today. To look into this and just to really see if this would be a good fit for you. This is going to give you guys a brief overview of what we do, how we do it, what the training would be like, and then some basic options before we are done with this to how to get started. So this is our coffee chat. There are three of us hosting this today. My name is Crystal, and I have retired from personal training. I was in personal training literally for years and years and years, since I was 20 years old. Went to school for exercise phys, all of that good stuff. And so now I'm quote unquote a full-time coach, although I don't work nearly as many hours coaching as I did training, but I would say a full-time coach and mom. I have three kids. I'm a former competitive athlete. I competed in figure and strongman and a bunch of fun stuff like that. And I am actually, fun fact, a new homeschooler mom. So that's a new adventure that we're starting. But the great thing is that I can do that. I have the freedom to do that because of this business. I, was able to have that availability. Monica is a mom of two. She works full-time in recreation fitness for the military. She is a police wife. Her husband actually does, I feel like 50 million jobs. He's like this and he's that and all the other things too. Very busy, especially during this time that we have going on. But yeah, so she's been in fitness for her whole entire career as well. And I think it's kind of funny. We were talking earlier that we all have a fitness background. Just so you guys know that you don't necessarily have to have a fitness background, but what happens with this is that like attracts like, right? So because I have a fitness background, I attract a lot of women that tend to have a fitness background, but that's not necessarily the norm when it comes to coaching and our network as a whole. But it's a great opportunity for people who are in the fitness industry. So then we have Tanya. She is I should say former CrossFit instructor. She hasn't taught in a little bit. It's been about a year or so, I think. And then she's an occupational therapist, a mom of three boys, all teenagers, which blows my mind. And she loves camping and outdoors, and she's always going on these amazing adventures, especially this past summer. If you'll see moving forward some of her pictures and whatnot. So we're going to get into what this is all about. If you haven't known yet, we partner with Beachbody, and Beachbody is a network marketing company. Sometimes people have a icky taste in their mouth about network marketing companies, and honestly, I did before I started coaching. But once I learned what it actually really was and the structure behind it, I realized how brilliant it was. And a lot of times people think network marketing is a pyramid scheme or something like that. But I will tell you firsthand that first of all, pyramid schemes are illegal. Second of all, the way that network marketing is set up, it's in that whole purpose of I can help X amount of people. Say I can help 1,000 people, right? I can only help 1,000 people over this period of time or whatever. But if I help these two women to help people as well, then they each help 1,000 people. That just multiplied the number of people that we can actually help and change their lives and reach by 3. So why wouldn't I want to do that, right? So I can only do so much as one person, but as I start to help other people to be able to do this and learn and grow and help others, then the reach is exponential. And that's the cool thing about network marketing. It also has a lot of the programs, the resources, the products all done for you. So you don't have to come up with your own fitness program. You don't have to develop your own nutrition product. You don't have to go and do all of that background stuff. Plus, they take care of the shipping, they take care of the customer service, they do that all. So what our part is with network marketing is that we get to be the relationship builders, the helper, the encourager, the the person who is holding you accountable, the accountability coach. And we really are the ones who are walking alongside of our customers, our clients, and that and whatnot. We have a number of different programs and products that are available now, and I don't even know if this actually showcases the whole entire thing. We started back in the day and are still really well known for P90X and Insanity. Those are the ones that everyone tends to know that were on the infomercials, and that's really how the company started, was on infomercials and back then. And so what happened is that people were on message boards. This is, again, you have to remember back in the day. So people were on message boards, and they were actually starting to hold each other accountable and to create these little groups and say like, hey, did you do your workout today? Yeah, I got it in, all this stuff. And the owners, who it was founded by, Carl Deichler and John Cogden, they realized, hey, these people who are connecting with each other are having better success because they're actually following through and doing the whole program. A lot of times people would just buy the DVD off of the infomercial and then it would sit on their shelf and they wouldn't get the results because they weren't actually doing it. But with the support of each other, they were actually seeing the results as was intended, right? And so Carl and John were like, this is a really good idea. And so that's kind of where coaching came from, right? That's how it started. And he's like, okay, how can we compensate them? What does this look like? And all that kind of stuff. And so from there, we've developed over the years. I remember when I first started, we didn't even have vanilla Shakeology yet. And it was because of the fact that the way that they do things and the way that they source their ingredients for Shakeology, which again is a whole nother, I could go into that and take up the whole entire time, but that's a whole nother story for a different day. But they couldn't source a high enough quality vanilla for years actually, until it was like about a year or so after I started coaching that they finally had a source that was all natural. They didn't have to put any of those secret little additives in or anything like that. And they made vanilla Shakeology. And so from there, we've developed the performance line, which has been sponsored by Ironman, and we have all these different programs that literally, especially coming from a fitness background, was really impressive because we have something to meet any need that there is. We have everything from yoga and bar and Pilates to boxing and hit work and resistance training, bodybuilding, like all different kinds of stuff. And that's the really cool part, is that with this company that we're partnering with, they're always coming out with new things every single year that are very valid and very current with the times. And so it's really awesome to be a part of something like that. So, okay, what is a coach, right? What is a coach? Coaches share their journey with others and encourage those along to continue following, right? So we lead by example. Does not mean that we have to be perfect. Just have to get that out there right away, but does not mean we have to be perfect. We show up for ourselves and we provide solutions for other struggles. Like I said, we had so many different programs, right? That there's something for everyone. So that's what we really do, is we find out, what are your needs? What are your goals? How can I provide a solution for you, right? And so there's so many different things. Like, for example, Tanya with CrossFit, right? Like, so people who are doing CrossFit, for example, they already have their workouts that they're going to, they already have their community that they're a part of, they're going to the gym and doing that. But what about their nutrition? What about most people who go to CrossFit are taking some kind of supplementation, but a lot of the supplements on the market for performance are garbage, to be honest. And it's full of chemicals and fake sugars and crap and stuff like that you really honestly don't want to be putting in your body. And we have such a pure, like all natural line, but that gets the job done. And you can literally see, I've had people time and time again that when they actually are taking the pre and the post workout, they see such a huge difference, not only in their recovery and the way that they feel and what they're able to do and their ability level, but also because they're able to push more and recover faster, they're getting better results too. So it's just stuff like that, for example, that we could even just help them with the performance uh, supplements and supply that kind of fulfill that kind of need that they have. Whereas then there's other people that we're connecting with that maybe, now that they're working from home during everything going on, they really can't get to the gym, or the gym's not open still, or only 10 people are out at a time with whatever, and they need an at-home program. And so then we have the full solution that we would give them with our programs and our products and all that kind of stuff. So there's going to be different needs for different people, but you have to remember that you can't just fit this in a neat little box. There's so many different things that you can do with this, and that's really the beautiful thing about it. So it's our job to encourage, support, guide them to the solutions that will best fit their needs, right? And then we mentor others and we teach them how to do what we're doing and become a coach. Because like I said earlier, the more that we can do together, the stronger that we are, the more exponential our reach is. Okay, so what a coach isn't. Let's just talk about this real quick. So I laugh at this because, like I said, all of us on here come from a fitness background. But honestly, a coach doesn't have to be a certified personal trainer or a nutrition expert. Like I said, because like attracts like, that's what the majority, that's what we are. But the majority of the network, the majority of the coaching network does not have a fitness background. They are not nutrition experts or whatnot. These are people, again, that we are walking alongside of the people that we're helping. We are in the mix too. We're working on our own journeys, and we're holding others accountable and saying, come with me. This is an incredible, program. This is an incredible product. This has really helped me because of X, Y, Z. And that's really what coaching is all about. It's not someone who has to have this amazing physical transformation. I know for me, that was a huge concern of mine, because when I first started, I was already fit, right? And I was like, I don't have a transformation. Look at all of these incredible transformations that showcase what our products can do, what our programs are capable of. And here I was like, I don't have that. And then a couple months after I started, I got pregnant and was like, well, I'm going in reverse now. This is like the opposite of a transformation. This is like, so it was one of those things where you don't necessarily have to have a physical transformation. And honestly, with coaching, we have so much going on, and I know hands down that coaches can tell you, if they tell you their story, that the personal transformation, the way that it has impacted your life, mindset wise, even other things as financially, or just the way, like confidence wise, the way that you think about yourself. There are so many ways that as a coach that you have the ability to grow, and people have grown over time, that it's not just about the physical all the time. There's so much more. And I know that might sound like cheesy and hard to believe, and it's hard to even describe, but I can't tell you, it's so true. I've been doing this for almost 8 years now. And when I speak to women, like the biggest thing, the way that this has touched their lives, is that they have that internal change. They have that mindset change, that shift. People have overcome, helped them overcome anxiety, or just even believe in themselves, or the confidence. And there's so many things that go along with it, but it's really, really amazing. So we are provided all the tools to help people in all of these areas. And so it's up to them to follow the programs and the plans and the trainings provided. So you are there to guide them and encourage them along the way. Okay, so what do coaches do? So I just wanted to have each of us quickly share our stories really quick, just like a brief, like, why did we start coaching? Like, why would I want to do this? Because sometimes people are like, they're already sharing their stuff, on social media, and they're like, I like what I do, or I like this program that I'm doing. Like, maybe there's a reason why that they would want to coach, like that they don't understand, or maybe it's something else. So I just wanted to have each of us share a brief version of like why we started coaching. Like, why did we decide to do this kind of thing? What was it for us? So Tanya, you want to start first and share why you started coaching?
Yeah, thank you, Crystal. That was awesome so far. So yeah, I was a personal trainer. I was a CrossFit coach for a while. I just remember my days back then. I even owned a gym at the time. I had three small boys, and I do remember having them come to the gym, sit in the front room, do homework. In between classes, I'd pop in and check on them. In the mornings, I hired a nanny to come get them ready for school, drop them off at school. Evenings were packed. I couldn't make it to games. I felt like there were two different sides of me. I had the coaching mom, the one that so wanted to fulfill that need to kind of be with people and help them on their fitness journey. And then the other side that I was a mom and I had responsibilities to do. And then I also felt alone. I was trying to kind of develop a business, but I didn't have the support or even the knowledge to kind of to follow through with that. Um, so yeah, meeting Crystal was a blessing. I had given up on personal training and fulfilling that need to kind of help other people so that I could just focus solely on my boys. And it was great for a while, and I loved spending time with them, but I understood that there was still this piece of me that wasn't being fulfilled, and I still had the desire to help people, but I knew it was just this constant tug. Like, I wanted to help them, I still wanted to be in that business, but I couldn't be the mom that I wanted to be to my boys if I knew I was going to go back to that. So I was so thankful to find this business that not only I could do both, and I was also supported by a huge network of women that, I wasn't just thrown into the mix. I wake up every morning. I'm part of a team call or a mentorship where I can watch someone that's very successful in the business kind of guide me through my morning. And then the rest of the day, I get to spend time with the boys. So I feel like instead of living those two separate lives, they've kind of come together and meshed. So I'm super thankful to Crystal and for this business.
Yeah, I love that. All right, Monica, you want to share why you started?
So yes, thanks, Crystal, for doing this for all of us. The reason why I started, to be honest, is there was always this nagging thing. Being in the fitness industry for a very long time, like you mentioned, my entire career, and not being able to be there for my kids. One of the things that I missed is when my daughter was born firsthand, I was an independent contractor working at a gym. So as both of you understand, that is like having that little one, trying to find somebody to watch her so you can go and give your time to your clients, because that's our passion, is to train and to help and inspire people. But now you have this little tiny human that wants to be with you, and you need to be there for them, and you want to be there, but you can't, and you have to drop them off somewhere else. I remember putting my daughter in a baby Bior and taking her to the gym and asking the owner, like, hey, I only have this client for 30 little minutes. I have nobody to watch her. Can I bring her in? And they're like, it's a liability, but if you're willing to take it, go ahead. So I was very fortunate to have an amazing, boss that I could bring her in for 30 little tiny minutes. But when those 30 minutes turned into an hour or two, or she started talking and walking, now we have an issue. And I wanted to be home. I got pregnant with the second one while working full-time at a gym, working for the military. And you know what, having that time away from them and missing their first steps, their walks, their big milestones, that killed me, so I wanted to be home for them, and praying to God every single day that something would land into my lap that would allow me to be home, to do what I love, to reach a mass majority of people from coast to coast and around the world, and inspire them to be fit and to do it out of the comfort of my own home, on my terms, on my schedule, where I was present for my family and I could still touch these people somehow. God literally put this into my lap 4 years ago, and I didn't jump on it. I literally jumped on it not even 2 months ago, to be honest. I prayed to God again, and I said, you know what, this quarantine thing happened, and I asked God for a really big sign, and God put us all in quarantine. So I apologize for me asking for God to give me a huge sign here, so that way it would be a wake-up call for me to realize that this opportunity had presented itself not once, not twice, but I think Crystal had mentioned she went back in our text messages 4 years ago. 4 years ago. So I missed out on all that time to be able to be around my kids, and now starting this from home on my terms and being there for my kids, this is literally a blessing in disguise to see this unfold and to be here for them and have them join into the workouts, and, you know, giving me that little bit of freedom too. And hopefully that this turns into something full time to where I could do just this and not worry about anything else once the world reopens and we go back to normal life. So thanks, Crystal, for not giving up on me and for always being there.
And we'll talk more about that too. Thanks you guys for sharing that. For me, it was like just a brief, I could talk forever about my story, but for me, I was in the fitness industry. I eat, sleep, breathe fitness. It was, and I know not everybody feels that way, but like, it was a passion of mine. And I thought that I would have the freedom and flexibility, like both of them mentioned, when I started having a family. And what it quickly came to was, I realized I didn't. It was the whole thing of like juggling with my husband to shift off. Like he would have my son in the morning. I would go do a chunk of time. I would have to like, you know, stop. And I remember pumping in the locker room in between clients and whatever else and stuff like that when I was nursing him, like all kinds of stuff, you know, that you do because as women, especially, like we are strong and capable of so many things, but a lot of times too, it's like we have that innate need to, we forget it's okay to simplify, I think. And one of these things that this business has allowed me to do is to simplify and to really prioritize my family first. And honestly, that's huge. And it doesn't have to be everyone's reason. It's not everyone's reason for who's a coach, but it's a lot of women on my team. It is their reason. And because it's my reason, and again, like attracts like, and that's what I've been able to do with this opportunity, with this coaching business, is been able to prioritize my family first, to put them first and work my business around my family instead of having to work my family around my business. And that was a huge shift and a really important thing. A couple of things too, like what they had mentioned, is that with the community that we have, that's the really amazing thing. So we're not there, you don't have someone else building a business for you. You know, they're not necessarily going to be, unless you really want them to, but they're not necessarily going to be like banging on your door like, it's time to wake up. Did you do your thing today? Did you go through this? And did you, you know, get this done? It's not all about that. It's your business. You get to decide how you do it, when you do it, what works for you. But you have the community of support as you're going through it, because we truly believe that we are better together, right? Especially when we're focusing on prioritizing our families first, we work together to get better results, right? So when we run our groups that support people for accountability and support and stuff, often they are together, right? Or when we run a new coach training or whatever, we've worked on that together. We put all of that information together, you know, in a group of us, not just one person doing the whole thing. When we run these things and talk about coaching, we do it together. And even like we have work sessions that are across the board 3 different times a day on most days that we come together for, we call it a power hour, and for that session of work, and we do it together. So it's like we show up, we have that energy. We're really there to support and guide each other along the way. And we are each other's biggest cheerleaders. And I know that doesn't happen in a lot of businesses, especially when it comes to, you know, training and whatnot too. A lot of times it's like, you know, a little cutthroat or not necessarily the best environment to be in or whatever when you're trying to gain clients and whatnot, because everyone's trying to, you know, put their food on the table and do their thing. And that's another thing too that Monica had mentioned, is that we can reach people all over the country. So we are not only in the United States, which is really cool because again, you know, I have clients and coaches and team members and stuff, and you know, all the way from like Maine or Rhode Island, North Dakota, Florida, Louisiana, like literally they're all over the place. And it's really kind of a cool thing to think about. But we also are in Canada and we're in the UK, and we just recently are launching into France. And it's going to continue to grow. So it's just really cool to see as that happens, the opportunities that we have to reach people literally all over the world. And so again, too, that and one more thing that was mentioned about coaching is like, again, I know you don't have to be in fitness. If you're not in fitness, I hope this is not like, you're not falling asleep at this point or whatever. But for those that were in fitness, I know, like Monica said, it's missing out on that income too. Like for me, it was always like, Christmas was always a stressful time of year, which it shouldn't be. It should be a fun, like amazing celebration time of year, right? But it was a stressful time of year because when I was usually most of my career an independent contractor, and everyone has their vacations and whatever, and they take their time off and whatever else, and I can't fault them for that. I couldn't charge them while they were not coming in. So if I wasn't actually training them in person, I wasn't making income. And the same thing when I had my babies. If I wasn't there training them in person, I wasn't making income. And that was really challenging, to be missing out on income and to be fluctuating so much like that. That would, if I had to miss a day, say my kids weren't in school when I was still training, but like if I had a sick day or whatever else, like whoop, I just missed out on a lot of income, right? Instead of getting paid leave or anything. So with this, as you build your income, and we're going to go into that in a minute, but as you build your income, like now, I've been doing this consistently and showing up over the years. Like I said, over 7 years now. So if I have a sick day, if we go on vacation or whatever else, like it's still coming in. The residual has been built. And that's one of the incredible benefits of network marketing and growing a team and working together, is that it's the greater good, right? And that really works like that. And okay, so what do? We've gone over this. We show up for ourselves. We commit to following the system that Beachbody has set up. We follow a program from start to finish. We learn and understand the nutrition plans and follow them. We incorporate the supplements and pay attention to, how it affects us and how it feels. We try out everything, but we start with the basics. We learn and then we take action, right? And so one thing I want to say really quickly regarding that is, you don't necessarily have to work out at home. Like a lot of us do. We all do here, but there are plenty of, and I know right now with everything going on, this is maybe shifting and changing a little bit, but when gyms were open and everything was open, there are plenty of coaches on our team who would take their workouts to the gym and do them. I can think of one coach in particular. She has built a really significant business, and her husband was a professional basketball player who traveled around the world. And so she would be in all these different foreign countries. And so she wasn't bringing her, dumbbells and everything else as she moved to these different countries. So she would go into the gym, but she would take her workouts, and she would know what to do, have her trainer right there with her, and she would do the program and get the results. So you don't have to do this at home. You can do this in a gym if you want to. And also another thing too, is I find personally the best results come from doing the programs all the way through, right? Doing them as they were intended. Like what we said in the beginning, instead of having the DVDs sit on the shelf, people were actually doing them with the support. Because you don't have to, you can incorporate other things. There are coaches on our team that, for example, I could think of, let's just talk about CrossFit. I have a friend, she does CrossFit. She does all kinds of things. She's also competed in figure competitions and had a specific workout program from her coach that she had paid money to. She has also done triathlons in the past, whatever else. This one coach specifically has been in all kinds of different things, right? And she has trained for all of those different things and incorporated our programs and products into it. So when she was training for figure, for example, she would do our workouts for her cardio part that she had to do, but she would do the weight training that she had paid for her coach with, right? She used all of our performance line and Shakeology and whatnot to help her get the best results. now with CrossFit, like she still goes and she'll do CrossFit workout X amount of times per week, but then she's supplementing in on the days that she's not getting over to the gym with a workout, but she's definitely, again, using the performance line and Shakeology and whatnot. So it doesn't have to be a cookie cutter way, like you have to do this, you can't do anything else. Again, it's very flexible, and that's the beautiful thing about this business in a lot of different ways. But that being said, you do want to be proof of the products, because if you're sharing them with others, you kind of want to know what you're talking about. So especially in the beginning, it's really ideal to jump in and dive in and do it, dive in and do it all out. So that way you can actually walk the walk, and share that with people. But it doesn't have to be that way always. I'm just saying it's not like a total, fit in a box type of thing. So then when we're talking about these new habits, we start sharing our journey essentially. And a lot of times that happens naturally in person, people that we're talking to, maybe at work, maybe at the park, maybe at, whatever activity that you might happen to be doing. It's kind of like just like you found a new restaurant that you love. Or I remember I'm a huge kombucha lover. So like I will share about this, like I'm obsessed with this one kombucha, and like people literally come to me now and they ask me when they just start drinking kombucha, what's your favorite brand and which one should I start with? It's become known. And that's very much the same thing like what we do as coaches. I share what I love. I share and I know what works. And I put that out there, and I'm sharing my journey so that people can see that. And just like as I would share a new restaurant that I'm in love with, or my new favorite kombucha flavor, or a movie that I saw that, or like, this binge-worthy Netflix, whatever, you're naturally sharing that with others because you're excited about it and you're seeing that it works. Also, one of the things that we talk about on a regular basis is that we are professional friend makers, right? So as we are sharing our journey on social media, and for some people that might seem a little scary, I know it did to me when I first started. I was not posting regularly on social media. I was like, I don't know what to say, or I don't know how to take this picture or whatever. But again, we work together. You have people mentoring you. You're working together as a team, and we grow over time. The biggest thing is to share your journey and to start with that and the excitement in it. And then we can refine things over time. So we help you with that kind of stuff if it is a little bit scary and whatnot. But so we start to share that. We run online accountability groups. So we have an app that we use, a private app, which is really amazing. We also do certain things on Facebook sometimes. So we have what we call like a virtual gym where we come together. Not everybody, you don't have to. Like I know some people this is not appealing, but we have opportunities to be able to work out together when we're on a video chat screen. So we're not actually like chatting or anything. We're doing our own workout. But we're there with each other. There's just something about community and something about coming together that's really fun and exciting to be able to have someone there that is going to show up. And if you don't show up like you have been normally, then you're going to be like, hey, where were you? So it's part of that accountability piece. But we have nutrition trackers, and it tracks our progress of what we're doing. And we have a lot of really incredible tools that is part of our accountability groups and that we can work with our clients with. And then what we do is we reach out to others and ask if they'd like to join us. So like I said, I consider us to be professional friend makers. So how we do that, how we grow our network, how we reach out to other people is we're just a real human with the intent to connect with people on things that are similar with us, right? So, it's not necessarily fitness that we're connecting with other people over, but it's other things like with me starting this new homeschool adventure. I never realized that there were so many people that talked about homeschooling on Instagram. Like it was just blew my mind, but there's so many people to connect with. Or I started, I'm really focused on my garden this summer, and that has been a huge thing for me. But I'm like, shoot, how often do I do this? What do I use on it to keep it all natural? How do I whatever? So I've been connecting with people over gardening. I sound really crunchy right now. But it's like you find things that you connect with other people. Like Tanya, for example, is huge into camping. And so she can connect with people with other people who have gone and hiked this, that, whatever trail, or gone to X amount of national parks, or have done, camping trips with their families, or there's so many different aspects that it's not all fitness that we're connecting with people. We connect with people as a real human being with real interests and real passions and stuff like that, and we start to find those common areas that we connect on. And then there will be opportunities where we invite them to join us. We see that they have a need, and we reach out to them and say, hey, I just, I've been doing this program or whatever else, and I think that you would love it. I'd love to have you do it with me. I don't know if you'd be interested or not, but I could give you some information if you are. It'd be so fun to do it together. Again, there's a million different ways that you could go about it, but that's really what it comes from, right? Our need to want to help people and do that. But we're connecting with people over the things that we love already, and that we're just being intentional to really make happen. Like, I know for me, I wasn't doing that before I started this business. So yes, I am doing it for this business, but it has been so fulfilling to step outside of my comfort zone and to get to know more people. And it's been really, let's call it what I say, enriching, I guess, too, because I've learned so much more. I've grown in so many more things as well, because I've connected with other people over different types of things. So it's really cool how we get to do that. So then we invite others, we reach out to others. And again, too, we follow up with them as well, because here's the thing, not everyone will say yes in the beginning. A lot of times people are like, what's this thing? What do you want to do? What? And like Monica said, it was 4 years that we stayed connected. It wasn't like a constant, hey, Monica, are you there? What are you doing, Monica? Like, I wasn't constantly badgering her or anything like that, what you might envision in your head. It's not that at all, but it's, you stay connected over the human part of you, the life part of you of what you're doing and stuff. And then from time to time, I'd be like, gosh, girl, like, I know you said you were interested in this. Why aren't you doing this yet? Or have you thought about joining us again? Or, like that kind of thing. And it's not an in your face. It's not an intimidating kind of a thing, but we really are looking to help other people and share this incredible part of our life with them, is what it really comes down to. So that's the teaching others to do what we're doing and share our success. So let's talk about, how do you actually earn income? There's a lot of ways to earn income. The first part, when you first start, is mostly commission. It's whenever you help somebody with a package or a product or a program, you are getting be somewhere between 20 to 40% commission on that, right? And so again, in the beginning, that's where most of it comes from. So here's the really cool thing. Honestly, even if you're only working from that, it's pretty awesome. But I know for me, coming into this, it was important for me to realize this is not a get rich quick scheme, right? Like, there's a ton of things where like, they say, oh, you can have a new car, and like, oh, you can go and whatever and do this thing. And that's what kind of gives me the idea of the whole pyramid scheme type thing. And so as a network marketing company, this is a really, the realist that we will be with you is like, this is not a get rich quick scheme, right? But most businesses that start, most brick and mortar businesses, like Tanya talked about how she, had a gym of her own, like all this different stuff. When you, even Monica and I, when we were independent contractors, we were paying rent to these gyms that we were at. So we were having to pay a monthly fee, and we had to cover that cost and then some, and if we wanted to make money, right? But most businesses that start brick and mortar are in the red for 3 years. That means they actually don't earn an income. They are just pouring money back into the business to keep it up and running and keep it going. They're not actually earning any money, any positive money, for 3 years on average. And you can look that up. It's a known fact. So 3 years. Whereas with this opportunity, again, it all depends on the effort that you put into it, but you can easily help a handful of people in the first month, a couple of people, and you can start earning money right away. So that's a huge difference, and one of the great things. Plus, you don't have any overhead like a brick and mortar business does. You don't have to buy the line of clothing like some other network marketing companies have. You don't have to do all that. There's no overhead or anything with this business. So that's really huge. And then the one other thing that I wanted to mention for me that was a huge standout is like I thought about how much I invested in college, right? How I personally went to college for 5 years and how much money that I invested in college for 5 years. And I went to even a state school, so it wasn't as much as some other schools. You know, I invested thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of dollars into college. And I came out with a degree. I didn't even, well, that's another story, but I came out, you know, at the end of it with the knowledge that I had and whatnot, and paid all that money. And then I was still starting at square one, right? So for me, fortunately, I started personal training halfway through college, and I was like, because I got my certification, and I was like, okay, I need to be making some money because I just can't sit here and not do this or whatever. But most people will not even hesitate to go to college, spend all the money, and then start from square one. With this opportunity, and I'm not knocking college, please don't think that. I'm not knocking college at all. Like, that's, you know, your decision of what you want to do. But if you look at it where you're willing to drop tens of thousands, even some people hundreds of thousands of dollars into this learning and this mentoring and all that kind of stuff to get to build a business or to go into your career or whatever else, with this, I always say you want to commit at least a year so you can really put your full effort and see what you can do with this business, right? But think about if you committed 4 years. Most people that I know, and nothing is guaranteed, of course, because it's all based off of your efforts and your diligence and everything else. But most people that I know that have committed 4 years of consistent effort, like they show up, they go to class every day like they would in college, they actually are applying, they're doing their papers, they're turning their work in and whatever, all that kind of stuff. They commit 4 years to this opportunity. They walk away. They are earning full-time incomes to start out with, and a lot of times very significant ones. So if you look at the difference, like most people question this network marketing thing with like, oh, I only have to invest, you're investing, you know, $100, $200 or so into this to get your business started. You have no overhead, you have none of that kind of stuff. And they're like questioning it. Oh, is this a scheme or whatever? Yet we are so freely willing to invest tens of thousands of dollars into college or anything else like that, or even into a brick and mortar business where we go hundreds of thousands of dollars in the hole and we sit 3 years on average, most of us, not making a dime until we maybe possibly do. And most businesses unfortunately fail in the brick and mortar industry. But so I'm just telling you, basically, hands down, this is an incredible, amazing, very low risk opportunity. So commission is where we start. Then growing a team, bonuses. So what happens again is the bonuses. There's a million different bonuses that you could possibly have, but a couple of them to give you an idea. If you sign up 5 coaches within 5 weeks, you get a $100 bonus. If there is a quarterly bonuses, so a certain, we have ranks and whatnot, and you'll learn more about that moving forward. But if certain ranks, you earn bonuses for maintaining those. So I earn a quarterly bonus, 2 of them actually, every single quarter. That's just extra income. It's kind of like getting, well, if I was in a corporate job, of getting like I guess you call them bonuses there too. I've never been in a corporate job, but getting a bonus every single quarter, which most of them get like once a year, I would imagine. There's also a 10% matching bonus on, again, it's a rank thing or whatever. So not to go into it, but like for, diamond coaches and above. So I have any of my diamonds who are earning whatever they're earning with their team cycle bonuses, then I earn 10% matching off of that. So if Tanya earns, you know, $200 on her cycle bonus that week, I will earn $20 just because she's my coach and I mentored her, and that's it. So it's 10% matching. And then there's the team cycle bonuses. It's based off of like the, there is a volume that is attached to what we are helping people with. So whether it be the programs, the products, the packages, that kind of stuff, there is a volume that is attached to that, a number that is attached to each one. And then that adds up. And so not only are we getting the commission off of those, but we're also getting to benefit from the volume of that, and then earn X amount of dollars, again, based on your rank per cycle. Again, it's a little confusing, but just to know there's a lot of different opportunities for different bonuses that you get. We also have reward trips and incentives. We have a really fun trip every year that we get to do in the spring. Unfortunately, because of everything going on, we didn't get to do it this year. That was the one huge bummer. But every other year we've had a rewards trip. And so I've been on 2 cruises, brought my family on them. They think that they're the most amazing thing ever. We went to Punta Cana, we've been to Riviera Maya. Next year is Riviera Maya again, and my kids, I didn't take them on that one. It was just my husband and I, and my kids are so excited to go. They've added new things to the resort, and it's really exciting. So there's always that you can earn just by you're building your business anyways. And so by building your business anyways, that goes into basically earning these trips. There's also opportunities like leadership, and the New Leader Conference, which has been in Arizona and LA and San Diego and whatnot and stuff. So where you have trips where you've been able to go on for that too. There's a lot of different fun things, and you'll see a lot of these pictures tend to be, we also have team trips. These 2 pictures specifically are from team trips that we have done, reward trips and stuff. And this one was in Utah, the snowy one, and then the other one was in Florida. So we get to do fun places for that as well. And then duplicating your business, teaching others to do what you are doing. Again, we reach more people, we can help more people when we help others, right? So when I help Monica and Tanya to help more people, that exponentially increases my reach. So instead of helping 1,000 people, then we've just multiplied that and helped 3,000 people, right? So if you see that happens financially as well. As they are helping people, I will benefit from some of those bonuses as well. My income starts to grow. So the more people I help over the years, the more my income has grown. And it's a really, really amazing thing. I earn more now than I ever possibly earned in personal training or anything like that. And the great thing is that I, again, can prioritize my family first. So how do we support you and teach you how to coach? So we do a handful of different things, right? We have a lot of different trainings that are available. There's corporate training. We have our trainings that we have done as a team, and that is listed. It's all a self-paced type of thing. So you go at it at the pace that fits you. Some people dive into it and they're done within a week. Some people, they do it over time and it takes them a month. It's all really up to you. We have team-led trainings. For example, we have a training coming up this Tuesday about how to achieve the next monumental spot and what they're trying to do and grow their business. So we do that. We have the upline support. Like I said, we have what we call power hour work sessions that are available with top coaches in the network that are leading these on a regular basis, that are available for people to hop onto to help, as they're learning how to work their business and whatnot. You have upline support, which is the person that brings you on to this opportunity, brings you into the team. They will be connecting with you, helping you to, what do I say if someone asks me this? How do I do this? Those kinds of things. Whatever you happen to have questions about, we're heavily supporting you along the way. And we have those challenge groups, those fit camps, those whatever you want to call them, virtual fit camps, challenge groups. We have team challenges and whatnot. There's a lot of different things that we do to support you. So know that you are coming into a business where you have a community of people and you are not alone, is really awesome. So last but not least, let's talk about package options. Now, we have a million different package options, to be honest, probably a million, maybe not exactly a million, but a lot. And these 2 are going to be probably the most ideal at this moment right now. And things are always changing. We always have new things coming out. There are other options and whatnot. We have tons of other programs. But for right now, our latest program is called MBF. It's Muscle Burns Fat. And so what happens with that is we do, there's a VIP timeline where it's not in the actual Beachbody On Demand library until later this year. So it's only on VIP right now. So in order to have access to this new program, you would want to purchase one of these options, but it also gives you the Beachbody On Demand library, which is every program we have, as well for an entire year. And then usually depending on what you decide with your coach, we either have the Shakeology option or the Performance Line option with the pre and the post workouts, or honestly, when they put these packages together, these are the absolute best values. But you can get both of these as well at one time. So the prices, if you look at it, if you're in the US, which I believe all of you are, it's $160, which again is phenomenal, and they're on special right now on promotion because this is a new program. $160 for the Performance Challenge Pack or $220 for the Deluxe. And so just to let you know, you're saving at least over $100 if you were to buy these things separately. So the package deals are always by far the absolute best deals. Plus they're on promotion this month. And you get access to both of our nutrition plans with this package overall, with this MBF package. Now we also have like the basic, this is what a lot of times what we use, the basic, what is it called? The basic BOD package, right? The basic BOD packages. And this is often what I will share with a lot of people. Depending, like if you don't need any equipment or whatnot, it's like the one that I use the most outside of the newer packages that we have. And that's the same thing. It's the whole entire year of BOD, the Shakeology or the Performance Line or both. And so when you're doing those, you can get the same thing. So it's the same pricing, right? 160, 160, or the 220 there. So the difference is that you wouldn't be getting the MBF, you wouldn't be getting all the nutrition plans initially. So that's why this is the absolute best deal, and hands down, probably most likely what you'd be signing up with if you started as a coach, because it gets you the best bang for your buck. So there's a couple of things just to give you ideas. We have a lot of other different products that you can tack on if you want to try, like collagen or beach bars and stuff, depending on what your goals and your needs are. But just to give you an idea, that's all it is to start your business. The business service fee is waived. There's a $40 coach sign-up fee. That's waived when you buy a package deal. A challenge pack is what we call them. So that's it. That's all it costs to start your business. And like I said, most often you can easily earn the money that you invested back by helping just 3, maybe 5 people, a handful of people after your first month, and then you're out of the red and you're making money from there. So a really amazing opportunity. Plus you actually have products in hand that you are using, and you get to be on your own journey as well. So it's an incredible investment. So if you have any questions whatsoever, don't hesitate to reach out to your coach. I know that they're going to be talking to you and reaching out to you to see what you thought, what questions you have, and answer any of those. But we are just really grateful for the time that you have spent today with us learning about this coaching opportunity, and we're really excited to share that with you, and we hope to be welcoming some of you to the team soon.